my question was, how does war photography impact and create awareness to the general public about what is going on wherever location you're in? So while researching, I actually took it in a lot of different directions and found a lot on how the public is all very aware once like a controversial image comes out. And controversy actually also relates a lot to the photographer, which is something I didn't know. And it's interesting to see how photographers react and respond to the way the public um, reacts also, which in a sense is also creating awareness of the what is going on in like war, like the poverty or the place it's taking place in. Um, that leads me to like the other finding of like how war photography is very different than the media because it's an eyewitness. The photographers are always searching for the truth, even though there are a lot of instances where there is double sides to every picture. You find a lot of pictures that are staged, which I didn't know, and a lot of people don't know that a lot of pictures are staged, but it still portrays the truth, which is something that is hard for some people to understand. Um, and also there are a lot of like issues with like manipulating a photo and like does that just show the real truth and whatnot. Um, for the I was looking at it as like a social movement. I'd say that it's always ongoing and it's very successful. However, it is always ongoing because there's always some like it depends on journalism, but mostly for war photography, it kind of has to wait for a war to come on. But however, there are always freelance photographers out in the field waiting to capture those moments. And you read a lot of quotes, and it's actually like really interesting how war photographers know the position that they're putting themselves in, and they really are just trying to bring awareness and like try to get that story out there without it being like the media like blowing out of it proportion. So I say it is like between stage 3 and stage 4 with like the successful always going on. There's a lot of different movements, a lot of different freelance, and it's interesting because even freelance photographers go out into the field without even knowing if they are going to get their pictures published or get paid. So it really shows what kind of passion they have for this, and I think that's really quite interesting. It's interesting to me how also like um, they will win like Pulitzer prizes for this, and how like that increases like the support of like having like photojournalism and like supporting like war photography, even though it is like very dangerous. And reading a bunch of quotes from photographers and like how it has like they say it's very dangerous and they know they have a choice of not to be there, but they choose to be there, and some have died on the job, which is very scary to think about when they don't even have to be there. So it shows that they really are like doing it because they love it, and they really do want to show people and like show their story and show their what they're seeing out there, as opposed to like a soldier, like the enemy, or like they get to actually be there, experience it. Photojournalists usually like write down their experiences. They have an artist statement that goes with it. So it really is different than the media in a sense that they want the truth to be out there. Photographers are always about the truth, even if, like I said before, they're manipulated or like they're staged, but they're still portraying the truth to the best of their ability. It's also interesting to think about how some photographers are put into controversial positions to get a good image, which is something else I found out. A lot of the photographers usually take pictures and people wonder, well, why did they take the picture instead of helping? But a photographer is, like they say, like they are in the position to get that shot. And most of the time there is more to that story, so a lot of pictures out there that we know are controversial, like there is a story behind them, and usually the photographer has a lot to say about it. It's really quite interesting. This research project took me in a lot of ways. It was really interesting to me to see how photographers are influenced and how they respond to their own work also, and how they keep doing it. I think it's really interesting, and it's scary to think about, but if that's their job and they're trying to help create awareness to the public and just like really try um, to like raise awareness, then I think it's awesome. Um, yeah, I think it's a very successful movement. It's not a movement within itself, but um, just the fact that war photography and photojournalism is very like still very going on, like especially with the way technology has improved. It's easier for photographers to get that shot. They can go out in the field. They can um, go out and take as many images as they need to. It's a lot easier nowadays, even though even back in the Civil War, there are thousands of pictures from there. So it's really interesting to see how it's changed over time. But yeah, it's a successful thing that's going on, and it's a very interesting topic to look at when you really realize how much more there is than just pictures from war.